Welcome to Amplified Encore. I'm Lorenzo here with Kyle Keller in the studio today. Kyle, how does it feel to be on Amplified?
It feels real official. I feel pretty cool.
What made it feel so official?
This thing right
Mic
here
flex?
on the microphone, this little box. It inspired me to get my own little box for my live shows, Kyle Keller, and my sponsors, which I don't have, but maybe I can find some.
I think that'll look good. So, how'd you get started making music?
Well, I started playing guitar when I was about 16. It was the first time I picked up a guitar. It was after moving to Nashville, Georgia from Michigan, and a bunch of friends that I met were playing guitar, and I thought it was super cool, and I wanted to learn. So a friend of mine let me borrow a old like Yamaha acoustic guitar with an American flag design on it, and I messed around with that and played every morning before school. Just trying to, I wanted to write songs, kind of was the goal. I had dabbled in things like poetry before that. It was terrible. And I wanted to tell stories and write some songs. So that was really the inspiration behind getting started.
Is there a lot to do in Nashville, Georgia?
There's nothing to do in Nashville, Georgia.
So that helped maybe propel the songwriting and music playing career?
100%. Yeah, it was, you had to find ways to entertain yourself, and music was definitely a way to do that. And all kinds of different music. My friends and I dabbled in punk rock and this and that and the other. It was great.
And I remember the smell while the wildflowers grow, and how the river's black water would ease my soul. Well, I would jump fences and never look back, 'cause everything that I wanted was all that I had. And sometimes I go back just to take it all in, sink my body down in the river with nothing but my bare skin. Never knew I'd leave it behind. There's no highway like 129.
One of the songs you performed on the show, There's No Highway, you mentioned it's about you and your buddies driving around the high school track in your car. What is the songwriting process to get from that feeling, that nostalgia, that emotion to the actual finished song?
Man, I mean, it's songs come in all kinds of different ways for me. Sometimes it's while I'm driving down the road and I'm just thinking of a melody or thinking of a couple lines. Sometimes I'm just playing guitar at home and a chord progression sticks. Or sometimes I'm just sitting down at the desk writing and some words come up and then I have to add the chords later. I haven't really found one central way that it works all the time, which I like. It keeps it, interesting for me personally. But with that song specifically, it was really hard to think about writing a song about what you just said, like the literal idea of driving around a high school track in the middle of the night in your car and various other crazy things that we did. So I was like, I don't think I'm good at that. I don't think I'm good at writing those literal songs. So I was like, maybe I can take that feeling of that time period in my life, where that felt like, and put it into a song, and it came out as There's No Highway.
Is that story part of where Wild Kyle comes from?
Kind of. Maybe not really. It's Wild Kyle for the YouTube channel kind of came from the concept of being outdoors, being in the wilderness, that kind of thing. It's not necessarily that I'm wild. I am wild in some ways, but
Tell us a little bit about your other the other gig that you have, Wild Kyle.
the other gig, yeah. So Wild Kyle is a YouTube channel, and I do educational and entertaining content on fossil hunting, gems and minerals, antique bottles, just history and prehistory related stuff. And it's all storytelling, just like songwriting is for me. So that's a big part of why I enjoy it so much. But I've been doing it since I was a kid. My dad and grandfather took me looking for arrowheads in farm fields as a kid and stuff like that.
Sounds like so much fun.
It just I never grew out of it, basically. Still obsessed with dinosaurs.
Deep below that cold blue water, there's some treasure to be found. Well, the Spanish moss hangs over native graves, being torn and paved To make $8, they do it all the way in the Everglades.
You don't have to divulge the spots, but is this a good area for that sort of thing?
It is. Yeah, Florida's great. Florida's been relatively calm, geologically speaking, so it's been a great state for fossilization to occur. There's not a lot of volcanic activity, not a lot of seismic activity that would, destroy fossils and things like that. It's very calm. A lot of sea level rise and fall, a lot of swampy areas, sandy stuff, like just perfect conditions to preserve things.
What's the craziest thing you've found?
Oh gosh, craziest thing. That's a hard one. There's a lot of crazy fossils I found. Some of the crazier stuff is more along the lines of like creepy kind of things. I found this really creepy mask thing one time in the creek that someone had made out of clay, and it's really terrifying actually. That stuff's fun for me to find.
When you find something like that, do you say, okay, maybe it just needs to stay?
Nah, I take all of it.
I take all of it.
And when I posted the videos, people are like, I wouldn't have kept that. I can't believe you kept that. And I'm like, it'll be fine. Nothing crazy's happened yet. So
yeah, you're a proponent for the outdoors and for the wilderness, so I think you have the right energy. You're not gonna bring on any bad spirits or anything like that.
Exactly. Yeah, I hope not.
All right, Kyle, thank you for being on the show. Kyle's episode of Amplified is streaming now on YouTube and pbs.org. Go watch it there.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Cool. We did it.